Chapter 7. Qualitative Research Methods. Naturalism as a research paradigm. Naturalism is an approach that posits reality as holistic. Positivist approach is used for segments of a research problem that support hypothesis testing. Naturalistic approach is used for areas that are yet to be so understood. Mixed or multi-method research provides the necessary array of data, and it combines quantitative and qualitative data collection and analysis in one study. 4 basic principles guide mixed method design. 1. Determine and adhere to the theoretical impetus underpinning the project. 2. Work to account for the impact of the method that is brought into the primary methodological thrust. 3. Drive the design decisions from the assumptions of the base method. 4. Employ only the essential data sets. The 9 broad research purposes. 1. Adding to exiting knowledge. 2. Impacting on a person, institutional, or social level. 3. Understanding phenomena. 4. Lesting new idea, approaches, solutions, or hypothesis. 5. Generating new idea, approaches, solutions, or hypothesis. 6. Informing stakeholders, participants, and other constituents. 7. Measuring change. 8. Predicting. 9. Examining the past. Ethical concerns. Participant confidentiality. Harmless involvement. Consequential. Ethics. Argue that the results of an act determine its ethical value. Non-consequential. Ethics. Argue that consequences are not the determinant of ethical action, but rather principles. Data gathering techniques. The act of gathering data for a qualitative study is an evolving process rooted in ongoing analysis. It involves more than obtaining discrete units of information. Data gathering techniques. Sampling, interview, observation, questionnaires and documents. Types of qualitative research methods. 1. One-on-one interview. Conducting in-depth interviews is one of the most common qualitative research methods. It is a personal interview that is carried out with one respondent at a time. 2. Focus groups. A focus group is also one of the commonly used qualitative research methods used in data collection. A focus group usually includes a limited number of respondents, 6-10, from within your target market. 3. Ethnographic research. Ethnographic research is the most in-depth observational method that studies people in their naturally occurring environment. 4. Case study research. The case study method has evolved over the past few years and developed into a valuable qual research method. As the name suggests, it is used for explaining an organization or an entity. 5. Record keeping. This method makes use of the already existing reliable documents and similar sources of information as the data source. 6. Process of observation. Qualitative observation is a process of research that uses subjective methodologies to gather systematic information or data. The 2 criteria for determining the right number of interview participants are sufficiency and saturation. Sufficiency refers to the effort to include all the subpopulations involved. Saturation to the point at which the critical elements of the study have become saturated. Useful methods for qualitative studies. Maximum variety sampling, extreme case sampling, intensity sampling, snowball sampling. The observation setting varies along the following for continua. 1. Number of participants. 2. Public vs. private. 3. Size of the observable action. 4. Staff or public. Unobtrusive observations. In a public setting requires the researcher to fade quality and naturally into the surrounding. Obtrusive observation requires the researcher to build enough rapport with the participants to overcome the natural reaction that anyone might have to the activity. The observer consider the following activities: attitude and relationship in all their variation through multiple observation. Data analysis tools and methods. Discourse analysis, developed by Michel Foucault, has the capacity to track historically the origins of and challenges to mainstream ideas, and to illustrate marginalized ideas through an open, conceptualized process of discovery that centers on analysis of power dynamics. Content analysis uses a set of procedures to make valid inferences from text. Content analysis terms. Before exploring the techniques of content analysis, it is necessary to review a few of the basic terms relating directly to coding. 1. A datum is a unit of information that is recorded in a durable medium. 2. Categories organize each datum by grouping it in with others that share similar denotations or connotations. 3. Themes then cluster categories that share some commonality, such as reference to a single issue. The constant comparative method of content analysis. It involves joint coding and analysis during the continual review of data to gradually form categories. Originally, the constant comparative method was described in 4 stages. 1. Comparing incidents applicable to each category. 2. Integrating categories and their properties. 3. Delimiting the theory. 4. Writing the theory. Coding data. Coding lies at the heart of the constant comparative method in that units of data are compared to each other in terms of their fit into the developing coding scheme. 3 different types of coding. Open coding is the initial, provisional work done on an unrestricted basis to produce concepts that fit the data. Axial coding takes place during the latter portions of open coding as major categories emerge from the data. Selective coding takes place as soon as open and axial coding have begun to establish core categories. Moving from codes to theory. The process of moving from coding to theory or pattern generation is ongoing, but when saturation has been reached, it is necessary to leave the field and begin the final analysis. After all the data are finally coded, analysis gradually reveals a framework of patterns and contrasts from which, in some cases, theory can be developed. Developing grounded theory. The grounded theory approach stands out central to the naturalistic paradigm because it develops, models, hypotheses, and the theory directly and primarily from the data without reference to pre-existing concepts of theories. Presentation of findings. First, in almost any forum it may be necessary to explain the concepts behind naturalistic methods. Second, qualitative research requires great detail and explication of both data gathering and data analysis. Third, one ethic of particular value to qualitative research requires the researcher to make some return to the community. Fourth, in almost every case, researchers must make active, careful decisions about giving voice to the participants. Finally, if research is simply to help us understand the world, then the act of scholars publishing solely for other scholars in the same field makes a modest contribution to that goal. Thank you. God bless.